Well, there he is, Gale in all his glory. I hope you're happy, the god of ambition. Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? Ambition, aspiration, greed and hubris is all I hear. The Gale I knew wasn't like this. He recognized his mistakes. He was contrite. All he wanted to do was live. Unfortunately, he fell into company that turned his gaze toward foolishness. Yes, I mean you. Then you're just as mad as he. I know there's nothing you could have done to stop him. Not really. Once he'd decided to learn nothing from his mistakes, what use were either of our protests? Perhaps you'd be willing to come meet Gale's mother sometime? She misses him so, and I know it would do her heart a world of good to discuss her son with someone who knew him as he was. Jolly good. I'll tell Mrs. Dekarios to be expecting you. Oh, she'll be delighted. Things just haven't been the same without himself cluttering up the place. Enjoy your party, dear. I've heard you quite deserve a celebration. You'd best not have any plans to follow in Gale's footsteps. One god at this gathering is quite enough. You'd best not have any plans to follow...
There. Goodness. Was Faerûn always so dull? Still, at least the company was worth the trip, if not the view. I told you I would, didn't I? I imagine you're wondering how all this came to be. The finer points of divine ascension are beyond mortal comprehension, I'm afraid, but I can provide a rudimentary sequence of events. First, I retrieved the crown of Karsus and reforged it using a series of precise and highly complex Netherese incantations. Then, I used it. As you know, the orb within me was the half-formed Karsite Weaver, magic left incomplete by Karsus' self-destruction. I finished it. Using the crown of Karsus, I turned it into a new form of magic, fused with my being, driven by my purpose. And then I put it to work. As expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over the reins of the weave, so I've claimed dominion over another area which I've passing familiarity. Ambition. I offer them nothing. I inspire them to seize their destinies for themselves. Great as the heights I've reached thus far may be, I've not forgotten my humble origins. In fact, they're central to my doctrine. Those drawn to the Galarian Creator merely seek my guidance as the impressive, all-powerful being I've become. Ambition is about beginnings. It's not just about the heights, but the lows that preceded them. I was nothing. A drifting dust mote of a wizard, abandoned by my goddess, my powers lost, my reputation destroyed. And look at me now. I'm their proof. Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements will flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible. I am the god of ambition, none of the consequences of ambition. Nor am I the arbiter of good or evil, for that matter. At best, those concerned with the consequences of their actions might consult with Savras, god of divination. Though these days I doubt he'd see them coming. I am ambition incarnate. As indistinguishable from that most potent sensation as Mystra herself is from the weave. And word is spreading. There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across the outer reaches of Thay, and rumors of a very prominent temple under construction in Arm. This is only the beginning. Don't worry. With the ambition you hold, you'll never be too far from my sights. Pursue your dreams, and keep me in your prayers, and who knows? They might just get answered. Something of the sheen of... It's quite something, isn't it? To be in the presence of the divine. Fear not. That tingling sensation is merely your body's way of alerting you to my presence. It's perfectly harmless. In small doses. It's quite something, isn't it? Fear not.
Beautiful thing. Grander than any of the patriarchs of real
God among men.
I was eager to attend tonight, yet I cannot help but fear that it may be a mistake. Do you know what I speak of? All these months, and I haven't been away from what we built together. There's a whole community out in Thaniel's realm that has never known a day without our presence. Being away from it, I cannot help but worry how they will fare in our absence. You are right, of course. What we have made shall outgrow us both, and, Oakfather willing, stand as our legacy. Tell me, are you happy with the path we tread together? I took you from a life of high adventure to one that can be described as, well, anything but. I thought perhaps that seeing everyone once again and hearing of all that they've been doing, it might awaken some regret about the life we lead. You could have done anything, gone with anyone, yet you chose me. Forgive me. This past while has been so idyllic that I almost fear something must go wrong. A fear I shall overcome. Trust me. We're amongst friends, in celebration. You must be eager to speak to some of the others. I shall be fine. Do not allow me to keep you. I was hoping you'd ask. You are more intoxicating than any fare this gathering has to offer. Of course. Your embrace makes me feel safer than any armor could. It is not for me to boast. It was a shared effort to reclaim the stones of Moonrise and Reithwin and build something new. I am just lucky to be a part of it. Myself included. We have all shared in this bounty. But I take your point, and shall acknowledge my role. In brief. Do you truly even need to ask? Of course. Who could not open their home to a befeathered hero of Baldur's Gate? And I did promise the children I would bring them back a surprise. Oh, imagine their faces. Of course. Seeing them free and happy may be my proudest achievement. And now they have more playmates than they could ever wish for. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned. Be sure to take your own advice. This is a special night, for all of us. You cannot bear to be apart from me, I see. I live to serve. The day I weary of those lips is the day I weary of life. Oh no, perish the thought. I can barely imagine stooping to such barefaced pun-mongering. The children's sense of humor is rubbing off on me, perhaps. Fancy a ba-oink? Indeed, you'll be hard-pressed to find a joke I haven't. Oh. Tusk, a boar back in the grove. I had promised to help him find a mate before we embarked on our quest, but with all that transpired, I forgot. Come morning, I shall write a letter of inquiry as to his condition. A promise is a promise. Tusk shall have his mate. Tusk, a boar back in the grove. Quite an atmosphere. I would not have presumed Withers to have a festive touch. By all means. If only we could stay like that forever. You needed something? You needed something?
expect that. You hints to which I was not.
Perhaps the bard knows some of my favorites. Unless my taste in music is too antique, of course.
With this complete wine from all over the world. But is there one bottle of fresh blood? So you made it! Now it really is a party. I told you to find this here.
Might be useful.
I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a royal inquisitor's head. Were it not for you, I might not have known the value of partnership, connection. I found new allies now. New friends. People I trust and who trust me in return. We've heard word of a Githyanki outpost hidden deep in Chult, the last of Vlaakith's Sword Coast strongholds. We mean to slay every last Sarth and Kithrak. I thought perhaps you'd care to join us. Right you are. Not every night is for spilling blood. I shouldn't be so callous as to spoil the quiet pleasures of this one. Now go, mingle while you can. That's the word, right? Mingle? There is plenty of time yet for slicing scalps and tasting blood.
Lava wine.
This is nice. Yes, I think that's the right word for it.
A night without care. No worry, no obligation.
Mustn't think about
This is...
Hells yes! You're here!
When I clap eyes on something.
Your relief, your projection holds. It took a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure it. You can touch, taste, and talk. But your fleshy body is in limbo, the home of the mystical Githzerai. Once the Githzerai were one with the Githyanki, until bloody civil war severed the Gith species. The Githzerai god king Menthara Gith sent word through the cosmos. He knows of your rebellion, and he's agreed to parley. Should the Githzerai join you, you could vanquish Vlaakith in a red dragon's blink.
What's the word on the rebellion? I presume you've cracked open more Kithraki heads than you could possibly count. Then you did keep count. I should have known you would. I'm afraid since we last met, my corpse count remains a paltry 0. Unless you count the boars I felled on ducal hunts. Rebuilding a city requires a politic mind. A sharp soldering blade, not so much. Bargains must be made. Coin must change hands. Tongues must be held in check. Father leaves me to my own devices, though he's got no shortage of advice when I ask for it. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. I've had more than a few challenges, given the horns sprouting from my head. The people know me as one of the champions who saved their beloved city. They know Ravengard blood flows through my veins. The patriarchs, the aristocracy, the councils of Waterdeep and Arm, their arms aren't so wide open. Still, there's no friction that can't be greased with a sly promise or a proposition. Disbanded, to be formed anew. I don't expect a soldier or street sweeper to see through the schemes of a tyrant like Gortash, but the city's lords and ladies were all too eager to abandon their oaths and bend the knee. My father, Older Ravengard, is now Grand Duke of the Triad, Keeper of the Fist. Floric is now Grand Duke of the Crossing, the face of devotion. And I am Wyll Ravengard, Grand Duke of the Worm, Heart of the Gate. We will yet be four. Until such time and after, we will enact the will of the People's Parliament. Baldur's Gate is nothing without its citizens, both in the upper and lower. Our duty is to them, and only them. The jewel of the coast will shine ever bright, welcoming the weak and the weary from wherever they hail. We are building new housing, not just shanties, but homes where families can rest their heads, plant gardens, pursue happiness. Amazing what can be done when Parliament and the Council pressure the upper city elites to open their coffers. I'm sure the Silver Shields can make do without a few more jeweled crowns. Father's back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with as brave a heart as ever, and delivered them nary a scolding nor lashing. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. Of course. Menzora's kept me on a long leash, if you can believe it. She hasn't ordered any murder sprees or any diabolical errands, but she insists on joining diplomatic missions in human guise. Her beauty and bargaining talents have even been a boon. Neverwinter's lord denied me a boatful of his finest masons, till Menzora pressed her lips to his ear. A whisper breathed, a bargain made. Whatever her game, I'm bound by her rules. My future will never be fully my own, but I'll fall on my own blade and join the blood war in an instant, should Zariel's hell's touched fingers stretch towards Baldur's Gate, and Menzora knows it. Go on, the night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
This seems pretty red.
Cheers to you. Cheers to Withers. Cheers to all of us. Cheers to you.
So, here we are. A gathering of allies at a cold campsite with no servants to attend us and few luxuries to enjoy. Ah, we could have been conquerors. We could have ruled these realms as gods. Do you ever regret that we did not take control of the Netherbrain? Regrets are of little value, unless they are fuel for future victories. Few mortals have stood against gods and monsters as we have, and lived to tell the tale. We can write our own stories now, and leave our mark on these realms. I feared that returning to the Underdark as an apostate of Lolth would be an act of madness. Perhaps it was. If so, it is a madness that fits me well. Rebels swarm to my cause, and even if it takes centuries, I will reclaim my house in Menzoberranzan. And make the Spider Queen bleed. Naturally. A fledgling god is of little use where my plans are concerned. You may observe my works if you lack sufficient occupations of your own, but do not interfere, unless you wish to learn how fleeting divinity can be. This night shall be done sooner than any of us would like. I hope we meet again. This night...
Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. I'm sorry I haven't reached out. I guess I wasn't sure what you'd make of me. I've changed so much. But then again, you have too. I can't tell if that's admiration or revulsion on your face. Or maybe something else entirely. I'd ask you what you'd been up to for 6 whole months, but then I'd have to reciprocate. And I'm not sure you're ready for the truth. Let us test that theory. Do you remember how my favorite food used to be mutton chops? I'm now far more interested in, well, brains. Maybe at first, but the person I used to be had a deep empathy that hasn't left me. Let me explain. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. Thanks, soldier. It's good to see you looking so well. And now that we've connected again, don't be a stranger. Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will. It's good to see you again, soldier. I hope it won't be the last time. It's good to see.
We only have 14 apples, some